Okay, we're ready.
There you go. Have a good meeting.
Okay.
Okay, thanks, Seth. All right, welcome everyone. I'd like to call the meeting of the Scituate Board of Health on June 24th, 2024 to order. We'll do that. This meeting is being recorded according to Mass General Law, and we'll start by just calling a roll call vote to start the meeting. Allison, how do you vote?
Yes.
And Karen Conley, vote yes as well. So we'll kick that off. So first we'll start with just, Allison, can I get a motion to accept the agenda for tonight's meeting?
Yes, I'd like to make a motion.
All right, I'll second and say yes. And how do you vote, Allison?
Yes.
All right, great. So the first thing we have on the agenda for tonight is discuss and vote the septic system design hearing for 280 Central Ave, and that's Grady, I believe.
Yes. Okay.
Hi, Darren Grady with Grady Consulting. Can I share my screen?
Yes, you may.
Okay. So move or
No,
approve?
not yet.
Not
He has to
okay.
present. He has to present. I'll ask for a motion when we get through all the presentation.
Okay, great.
Can everybody see my screen?
Yep.
So the project in front of us tonight is it's a raise and relocate this building. So they're raising it up in elevation. And they're raising it up in elevation to actually allow for a septic tank to be put under the dwelling and to be more flood compliant. We have a meeting at the Conservation Commission scheduled for July 1st. So the existing septic tank is currently in a shed on the deck, located in this area where I'm pointing. It has a setback of 5.2 feet that was previously approved. We are looking to move the house back and change the decks a little bit, and they made room in this deck back here to allow access for pumping and to allow this tank to be put on a pile supported structure below the house. Right now it's at deck level, at first floor level, and they do have a little bit odor issues. With this underneath here, it should work. It won't be right next to the kitchen or right next to the living area, and it will meet Title V as far as being above the velocity zone, and it'll be accessible for maintenance. In order to put it in this location, we need 2 local upgrade approvals. One is just the maximum feasible compliance, and I'll see if I can scroll over there a little bit better. Which is 15.404 to allow the construction of a 1,500-gallon elevated septic tank. And the other one's 15.4051, a reduction in septic system tank location setbacks from 10 feet to 5.5 feet. The previous approval allowed for 5.2 feet, as the existing showed. The existing leaching field is it will be reused. It's in good working condition, and I believe that this is a substantial improvement over where the existing septic tank is, and that meets Title V. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them.
Yeah, so it sounds like we got a little more room out of it too, like a little setback a little bit farther from the line from the last approval, which is great as well. And you said you're going to Conservation Commission on Monday the 1st.
Correct.
So obviously any approval will be pending that. I don't think I have any other questions. Drew, anything that you need to add?
No, it's Hummerock. It's a tough spot. It's always going to be tough, and we do the best we can under conditions, and this is a substantial upgrade, so we're happy.
Okay. All right, Allison, unless you have any questions, I'll ask you to make a motion.
Yeah, suggest motion. I'm sorry. I moved to make a motion. Just bear with me, guys. I move to continue.
No,
Do you want to approve it unless you want to, if continuing is you move it to the next meeting because you want to get some more information.
Okay. I just thought because of the conservation pending, so that's.
Well, we'll just, if you read that as well, we'll
Sure.
approve it pending that approval, so.
Okay, so we're gonna move to approve the septic repair plan for 280 Central Ave with following upgrades requested. Request the reduction to the setbacks from the tank to the property line from the required 10 feet to 5.5 feet to allow the construction of the 1,500 gallon elevated septic tank. And
Pending-
I would,
Pending Conservation Commission approval.
pending, yes, pending Conservation Commission approval.
All right, so I will second that motion and I will vote yes. And Allison, how do you vote?
Yes.
Okay, Darren, you're all set. You're approved.
Thank you very much. Have a great night.
You're welcome.
Darren, thank you so much for coming in, and thank you for accommodating us by coming in early tonight. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Always good working with you guys.
Okay, take care.
Have a
Thanks.
good night.
Bye.
Okay, now we're moving on to Morse Engineering, and we're starting with 45 Cornet Stetson Road.
I'd like to make a
No,
motion.
he's got to present first.
Oh,
So,
okay.
James,
Sorry.
can you introduce yourself?
Sure. Good evening, everyone. For the record, James Garfield with Morse Engineering. Here tonight, representing the applicant for the septic system repair at 45 Cornet Stetson Road. I'll share my screen so we can pull the plan up. Hold on one second. Okay, can everybody see that?
Yep.
All right, so a brief breakdown of this plan. Cornet Stetson Road's at the top of the page. Our property lines are shown here in bold. This is an existing 3-bedroom single-family dwelling, which is currently serviced by a failing Title V cesspool located right here where my cursor is. The majority of why we're here tonight is because there is a tributary to a surface water supply to the rear of this property, which is shown here in magenta. And I've also added the 100 and 200 foot setbacks to that line, also in bold magenta lines. And so what we're proposing to do to replace that failing cesspool is to add a Hoot treatment tank, 1,500 gallon pump chamber, located right here in the rear yard, which will then be pumped up to the front yard to a new geoflow leaching field. So what we're asking for in terms of variances are a reduction from the required 200 foot setback between a tributary to a surface water supply and a septic tank. Again, the requirement's 200 feet. We're proposing 77.4 feet. We're also asking for a variance from the required 200 foot setback between a tributary to a surface water supply and the proposed pump chamber, which is 78.3 feet proposed. We're also asking for 2 local upgrade requests. The first being 310 CMR 15405G to allow a reduction from the 200 foot required to 137.9 feet proposed between the tributary to a surface water supply and the SAS, the leaching field. And lastly, 310 CMR 15405I to allow the use of a sieve analysis in lieu of a perk test. So just in summation, the plumbing exits out the rear of the house. So that being said, the tanks will have to be located behind the house somewhere. This entire site is located within the 200 foot setback. So inevitably, we're going to have to ask for reductions to that requirement. But we believe this to be a substantial improvement to the site. And this is actually a treatment septic tank. So you'll actually be getting more nitrogen removal out of this type of a system than a typical system with a regular 1,500 gallon septic tank. So I'll pass it back to you if you have any questions.
Yeah, so the first one is just, have you gone before Conservation Commission yet?
So this actually won't have to go in front of conservation. There aren't any wetlands associated with this. This is
Oh, I
just,
wasn't sure with the tributaries if it would or not, but
yeah, so it's just a man-made ditch that we've field located with the survey, but there are no wetlands.
okay. My second is Drew, I think for you, we're missing on our motion these first 2 setbacks.
Those are not required by the board. We can do those
Okay.
here. It's the 2 that are on here that are required by the board.
Maybe we'll just we'll just stick to what we have that's required. Great. Okay, I don't think I have any other questions. And Allison, do you have any questions?
I don't. I think you covered all my questions, so that's great. Okay,
And do you want to make a motion?
yes,
And
I'll
before
make,
you make a motion, can I
sorry.
just,
Sure.
there's no one else in the audience or anything else that's here? No one else is looking
No.
to make any other comments? I don't see anybody else here. I just wanna, okay,
Yeah, that's
That's
why I
fine.
didn't ask, because I didn't see anybody
Yeah.
else.
okay, good.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion to approve the septic repair plan with the following upgrades requested. Request the reduction to the setback between the tributary, to surface water supply and the SAS from the required 200 feet to 107.9 feet. To allow for the sieve analysis in lieu of a percolation test.
And I will second with one correction, just it's 137.9 feet. So the
Okay, thank
setback
you.
from 200. Yep, and so I'll second that, and I will vote yes. And Allison, how do you vote?
I'll vote yes.
Okay, all right, so James, that
Thank you.
one's approved.
Thank you.
And then we'll move on to 71 to 73 Glades Road.
Yep. Let's see.
Sorry about that. I'd like to make a motion.
Oh, he has to present again.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Sorry, I'm moving a little bit slow. For the record, again, James Garfield with Morse Engineering, representing the applicant for septic system upgrade 71 to 73 Glades Road. Just for a little background on this one, this project was actually approved by the board back in May of 2022. The plan originally proposed for this new septic system, it was a mounded septic system with retaining walls on all sides. And we're proposing this new plan. Nothing was ever built, but we've come back with a revised plan to eliminate the need for those retaining walls. That system was proposing 2 new tanks, a tank and a pump chamber, as well as that mounted system. We're proposing just 1 new tank, another Hoot H500A treatment tank. And then we're going to convert the existing 1,500 gallon septic tank into a pump chamber so that there'll be a little bit less disturbance on site. And then we're going to pump to a crushed stone leaching field. And benefits to this revised system is that it will pull the leaching field 3 feet further from the salt marsh. It'll, again, eliminate the need for any retaining walls. And it will also allow the septic system to be driven over, and again, no longer requires the removal of that existing septic tank. So again, we believe this is a great improvement to what currently exists on site. So with that, I'll pass it back to you for any questions.
So this one definitely has to go through conservation, I'm gonna assume, so.
That actually has been approved at this point. We amended the original order of conditions, and that's been completed at this time.
Great, so
I
you've already
believe it was
presented
approved
your,
last week, right, James?
I believe so. Yeah.
great.
It
Okay.
has gone before, Joan and I talked about this, it has gone before Concom and they have approved it.
Great, okay. Yeah,
Okay,
I think, any way we can upgrade that, it's great. I mean, this is a tough area too, so, Allison, I'll defer to you on a motion.
yep, I'd like to make a motion to approve the septic repair plan with the following upgrades. This is for Morse Engineering. I forgot to add that. Request the reduction from the required, but 10 feet setback to 0.0 feet proposed between the property line and the leaching field. Number 2, request the reduction from the required 10 feet setback to 5.7 feet proposed between property line and septic tank. Request the reduction from the required 10 feet to 6.5 feet proposed between the slab foundation and the septic tank pump chamber. It's hard to read on my phone. Request the reduction from the required 10 feet to 7.1 feet proposed between the slab foundation and the leaching field. And it's already gone through Conservation Commission and it's been approved.
So I'll second that motion and I'll vote yes. And Allison, how do you vote?
I vote yes.
Okay,
Great. Thank
James.
you, everyone.
all set with that one.
Thank
Have a
you.
great night. Thank you
Yeah,
for
you too as well. Have a good night.
coming early as well. We appreciate it.
No problem at all.
James, thank you.
See you guys.
See ya.
Okay, the next agenda item I added, thank you, Drew, for adding that, but I just wanted to kind of have a discussion about that to see if there's any action we should take. So Allison, on June 12th, we received like a notice from the Mass Department of Public Health, just talking about hepatitis C and the goal to eliminate hepatitis C in the Commonwealth. And so they
Yes.
put together a pretty comprehensive plan. And I think it's important for us to think about this, just thinking about hepatitis C gone untreated can result in obviously death, cancer, liver failure. There's no vaccine available, and that's why it's so difficult to treat. And it's the most common bloodborne virus in the country. And I think what's good about it is that 95% of the people, once it's identified, can be treated effectively with oral antivirals and do okay and keep it into control. And I think the scary part about it, there's very few symptoms before it really starts attacking the liver. So, so the recommendation from the CDC that the Commonwealth is adopting is really looking at screening and promoting screening. So, a one-time screening for all adults over the age of 18, screening for women who are pregnant, every incidence of their pregnancies, and then periodic higher risk for those really high risk populations. So those that use IV drugs and other high risk populations. So, I know, Drew, I understand just reading it that, we have to report our hepatitis C incident rates, and wondering if there's anything that we can do to support this campaign, whether it's on our like Board of Health website or just would like to kind of hear your feedback on kind of what you think about if there are things that we can do from a local Board of Health to support the initiative.
Right. So, first of all, I want to know, did we get a grant for this? For the work, you know what I mean, around the
Well,
hepatitis?
no, I don't know if we necessarily have to do any work besides encourage residents to get the screening per the CDC. So I don't
Okay.
think we're I mean, Drew, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think we're gonna start doing screenings
No, but
ourselves.
I think a PSA
Yeah,
out there to the public would work. And I spoke with Eileen and Michaela, shared nurse with Hingham and Cohasset. And I'm hoping that we'll be able to do some type of public service announcement with the 3 towns and utilize Michaela through the grant and
Okay.
get into it that way. When I did speak with Eileen, Maven is in the process of switching over. So we're having a real hard time accessing Maven. We do have confirmed 4 Hep C cases in the town. Eileen is adamant that that number's higher. How much higher, we do not know.
Yeah,
I
because if
did
people
go-
don't get screened, if people don't
Yeah, they
understand
don't
they have to
know.
get screened, right?
So again, and like you said, I mean, there is a high risk population, but there's that other population that may be in contact with that high risk population, and they don't even know. So there's that
Exactly.
chance.
Yep.
Right.
So I did look at Plymouth County numbers over the last, going back to 2017 to 2021. Those are the ones that we have. And this is just Plymouth County now. In 2017, we had 495 cases. 18, we had 442. 19, we had 333. 22, I mean, in 2020, we had 230.
Because no one was getting screened.
Yeah.
But these are all going down,
Yeah.
number of cases. And then in 21, it went back up to 256. And that might be because more screening has started to take place as we became more aware of what the problem was, and as DPH started looking into different avenues to address it. So I definitely think there's something that we can do locally as far as getting the word out, public service announcements, maybe an event or something like that at the senior center, or just throughout the town. We can definitely do something to address it and make people aware of it, that they can get tested.
Yep. No, I
They
think
can get
that'd be
screened.
great. That would be
Yeah,
great. I think.
That's awesome.
Great.
So I mean, we wouldn't be collecting the data for the
No,
three.
it
Okay.
would go, they'd have to go to their own private doctor,
Okay,
Yeah.
get screened at the doctor, and then if it comes back, the doctor's required to report.
okay,
And that's how we would get it through Maven.
okay, great. All right. I think it's a great idea.
Yeah,
don't-
I do too.
Do we need to vote on the PSA or
No,
is it
we don't have
just a
to, no, we
discussion?
don't have to do
Okay.
anything. What we can do is I'll talk with Michaela and Eileen, and we can, at a future Board of Health meeting, have them come on and discuss different ways that we can do a PSA.
Oh, that'd be great. Yeah, that'd be great. Awesome.
Yeah. That's wonderful.
Okay. Well, thanks for adding that. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
No, I'm glad. It was good that you did something like that for us. It's good.
Okay. So now we're going into old business. Do we have any old
We
business?
have no old business. This
Okay.
could have been put under new business, but we put it under discussion, so
Yeah. Okay.
that's fine. I do have my director's report.
Okay.
So we have 11 sets of plans under 45-day review. We have 4 sets waiting engineering review. We have 5 sets of plans waiting Concom review. We have 24 systems in failure, and we are waiting on 15 as-built to come in and get certified. We also have started beach water testing. We test on Tuesday high tides. The way that we test is we go out 3 feet deep. You have a sterilized container. They take the top off, plunge it down 18 inches, lift it up, cover it, put it in a cooler. You take the water temperature, you take any observed data that you may see. Maybe you saw 100 birds down at the beach when you took the water test. That's something that the DPH looks at, those other circumstances that might contribute to water pollution. The testing so far, this is our second week we've done. All of our beaches have come back good. We haven't even had to do a retest yet. General rule of thumb I've always used, if we get heavy rain, you want to give 2 tide cycles, 24 hours, to let Mother Nature come in and do what Mother Nature does. It's a great way. It basically just flushes the beaches out. So we don't have a lot of outfall pipes like they have in Wollaston Beach. That's why you see, I think Wollaston Beach has 12 outfall pipes, all from that come down. So that rule of thumb with the rain was very pertinent to Quincy. But we also have runoff here. So it's the same here, maybe not to the same extent with the outfall pipes. But it is important that, you check to make sure that the beaches are all right. So we continue testing right through Labor Day. Labor Day is the last day. We post them up, and then we go from there. We're also in the middle of our Plymouth County mosquito control spraying. They spray on Monday nights, Tuesday mornings between 2 a.m. and about an hour before sunrise.
Drew, is that just for mosquitoes or does that help control ticks as well?
It's just mosquitoes.
It is. Okay.
You can call up and have your street sprayed. The phone number for Plymouth County Mosquito Control is 781-585-5450. And you can call between 7 a.m. and 2:30. And I'll read the number one more time. It's Plymouth County Mosquito Control, 781-585-5450. We get the list of streets that are sprayed every week, and we're probably averaging somewhere between 25 streets a week that people call and have their street sprayed. You can also call if you do not want your street sprayed. The whole system is done. What's the word I'm looking for? The what is it called? The through the satellites. So when
Okay,
When you go to, if you're going down a street, the spray only comes on off of the back of the truck if the vehicle is going less than 5 miles an hour. You can't have, the wind conditions have to be right. You